So Trump won.
Every citizen, I will fight for you, for your family, and your future. Every single day, I will be fighting for you, and with every breath in my body, I will not rest until we have delivered the strong, safe, and prosperous America that our children deserve and that you deserve. This will truly be the golden age of America. That's what we have to have.
Yes, he's won again. He's now the president for the second time. People didn't believe that he'd been president before, but he had. It was like this weird deal where they were saying, oh, the whole world is going to blow up when Trump gets in power. He's already been in power. Why did it not blow up then? Kamala's been in power effectively as vice president for the last 4 years, working alongside Joe Biden, who said that she has been with him every step of the way. And when she was in an interview with The View, she said, I wouldn't have really done anything different. Why hasn't she done anything different? When people were saying she's going to turn the page, she was going to turn the page. She's going to change things. So this is basically why Trump won, because enough American people didn't believe Kamala. And it is a shame for the Democrats, because I think they actually had a chance of winning this. If Joe Biden was either incredibly competent like he had been, well, I shouldn't say incredibly competent, but basically like he was 20 years ago. If you've ever seen videos of him like fighting, arguing in politics about 10, 20 years ago, he was actually sharp as a tack. But the media tried to make out as if he was sharp as a tack in this day and age, when clearly he wasn't. So he had to drop out. The Democrats then effectively, which was very undemocratic, forced Kamala in because she had the current momentum of popularity at the time, despite not really being the most qualified, I imagine, compared to other Democrat politicians that could have probably stepped up to compete for that position of vice president, well, going in for presidential election. So now you are stuck with Kamala. And that's like, you are stuck with Kamala. You have to make Kamala work. And they tried. The media tried so hard. I've never seen anything so biased in my life. I think the only places where you could find any support for Trump were basically Fox News or Twitter, otherwise known as X. So anywhere other than that, you could not find anything positive about Trump whatsoever. Every post is negative about Trump. Every post about Kamala is her hugging kittens and bunnies and everyone's happy and cackling. So whether you like Trump or hate Trump, he's now the president and you may as well try to get behind him. I'm not all in on Trump at all. I don't honestly believe he is very good for science, apart from his support for Elon Musk, who is obviously propagating a lot of science, especially in spacefaring technology, robot, autonomy, etc. So, and electric cars, of course, which ironically, Donald Trump didn't want to go into electric, so I'm going to be curious to see how he goes around that issue, because he was all about the diesel. I'm not a big fan of the whole drill, baby drill. I know that we have a bit of a situation in life right now where everyone is paying more for bills and they want bills to be cheaper. So in order for bills to be cheaper, they need to drill, but that's also damaging the environment, which is then causing more problems later down the line. We kind of need some sort of solve for that, but hey, that's politics. That's for them to sort out. It is what it is. You can be Greta Thunberg and go to every single rebellious rally all day, but has that really changed anything? No, it's the politics that have got to change, and it's the countries that have to unite to get together. I think China has opened up some coal plants, which are effectively like the worst thing you could possibly have when it comes to the environment. You think about like agriculture, the animals and all that contributing, etc., with the farming and the methane gas going into the environment. Coal is that's not what you want to be doing. You want to be going to nuclear. Now, nuclear is a lot cleaner. Of course, that has its own problems. Everything has its own problems. And we're kind of screwed on that front, honestly. But it'll be interesting to see what's going to happen, because I think the more pressing issues right now is the inflation, the economy, the whole border situation, which I don't think Kamala was going to do anything about. Because if she was, she would have done, and she hasn't done. And let's face it, she was all basically flip-flopping on that. She basically was against everything that Donald Trump wanted to do in terms of sort of like making everything good for the country, America again. And then when she found out that she needed to get like more popular votes, then she flip-flopped on all of her policies and essentially just started stealing everything from Donald Trump. Now, that was pretty funny. And it goes to show she has no real backbone and doesn't really have any skin in the game for what it is that she truly believes in. She just kept saying, I will do what the law tells me to do or something like that, but you're in charge, you're the one. Now, we get that you have respect for the law, and that's fair enough, you should do. But you can make changes, right? Or you can at least try to push to make changes. What are your policies? What are your ideas? And then she'll just cackle and laugh. And you got no idea what she actually stood for. Like, you had all those interviews, right? Where you actually had like people saying, oh, what are you going to do to help us, a growing family that can't afford our groceries and we have to look after our child and we're not making enough from work to deal with the increase in inflation. And she's like, I belong in a middle class family. Oh, fuck me, really? Like, get another script or something. You need more content. She's got one thing she can go back to. Otherwise, she just cackles and says word salads that don't mean anything. Everyone can do that, but that's not going to get the job done, is it? That's the point. And I think enough Americans realize that. So when I go back to the point where I was saying Democrats could have possibly won this, because everyone, at least if you were reading off media, hates Trump, right? If you go off to any of these interviews, they're all like, oh, I want to vote for Kamala. She's going to be great. She's going to be a woman president and all this. That's fantastic. But what's she actually going to do? You don't know. It doesn't matter. She's not Trump. That's the main thing. But you needed a little bit more than that. You needed someone that wasn't Trump and that was actually capable of doing the job of being the president, or at least a competent politician. Like, J.D. Vance has impressed me in the sense that he's actually what a politician is like. When you compare him to any of the interviews with Trump, Kamala, Tim Walz, they're just kind of people that are in that position somehow. They're not very great talkers. Sure, Trump's got a lot of charisma. You got to give him that. But they're not fantastic politician-style talkers. J.D. Vance can actually talk for like multiple hours. If you've seen the Joe Rogan podcast, for like 3 hours, constantly talking about political issues and give his opinion without taking a break. And the Democrats needed that. They actually needed someone that actually sounded coherent, competent, understood what they were talking about, had ideas, policies, and was able to push them onto the audience and convince them about them. Kamala was not that. And you get what you get, I suppose. I think overall, this is probably best for America. I don't think you really should have Trump as a president. I think the Republicans deserve better. But hey, he's a charismatic guy. You got to like that much about him. But let's hope, he sticks to his word of trying to help the country rather than all the hot air that you might imagine is really the real result. So you're not going to get J.D. Vance yet. And the Democrats, this is their opportunity next time to come back and actually have someone that is a politician, or at least can speak like a politician. Because at the end of the day, Kamala, I'm sorry, like, I watched multiple interviews. I tried to understand what you was about, but you flip-flopped on everything. You didn't really say anything. You weren't actually put through the process in the correct manner. You just got put into that position, which is essentially a lot of the things that are kind of wrong with today, which is this forced DEI. Now people might go, oh, she's not a DEI, but she was forced in this position. And the whole deal was that she was a black woman, even though all this time up until this point, she had pushed herself with her Indian heritage. And now she's suddenly black. Like, that's not a bit suspicious or weird? Like, isn't that insulting? If it was the other way around and she was like, say, for example, she was Indian before, but also had white heritage, and then she's suddenly like, I'm a white president. It's just like, what? You've been Indian this whole time. Like, I live in England. There's a lot of multiculturalism. Like, the most popular food in England is Indian food. Like, we're used to sort of multiculturalism. It's not like America. Like, we don't have the same sort of issues that America do. So from my perspective, when I see these kind of things about the whole racism issue that America definitely still has going on to this day and can't seem to get over it, it's strange to me, because I don't have these sort of, I don't know, these grievances that they do. I just believe in meritocracy. So if you're the best person for the job, whether you're black, white, or whatever, fantastic. That's all that matters. You fucking get that job. You do that job. That's all we want. But at the moment, I didn't believe that Kamala. I don't think anyone truly, if they were being honest, believed that Kamala was right for the job. So if the Democrats really wanted to win this, they basically put all their money, just like XQC did, apparently. I don't know if this is true, but someone said that he put $700,000 or something on a betting site that Kamala was going to win. Now, that doesn't tell you anything. It tells you everything, because I don't think he's the smartest guy. So there we have it. Those are my thoughts and opinions on Trump winning. And it's mostly my thoughts and opinions on why Kamala didn't win, really, because Trump was popular. He's a crazy guy. He says a lot of fun things, and he's not like normal politicians. And that's what a lot of people like. And he essentially had a pretty effectively efficient presidency. Now, a lot of people are going to make it, oh, what about this? What about this? But when you compare the stats between him and Joe Biden's presidency with Kamala as vice president, it is like the inflation's gone up. All of these conditions are bad. More people living in the streets. Borders got out of control. Like, Trump had a lot of arguments that were going to be good for him getting back into power. So that's another reason why he basically got there. So I think that's about it. Let me know what you guys think about this whole situation of Trump winning. I just hope he does good for the country. That's all I care about. And I hope it's good for all of the world, because America is essentially the leading point for a lot of the world. So congratulations, Trump. I hope you do good for the country. I hope you do good for the world. Take care. All the best.